titled Getting Home. Please welcome Rachel Watkins, Getting Home.
How many of you guys like to travel? I love to travel. I've been doing it for a long time now, and I really enjoy it. Traveling is great because you get to go to new parts of the world. You get to see different cultures and try out new foods. Do you want to know what the worst part about traveling is, though? Getting home. Getting home is awful. A few months ago, my new husband and I got to go on a honeymoon, and we went to Thailand. It was incredible. There were beautiful blue beaches. There were piles of pad thai everywhere. The swim-up bar made for a very relaxing week. It was great. Again, you know what the not-so-incredible part was? Getting home. Getting home took us 27 hours.
Ooh.
At least when you're getting there, you have the excitement of going to the beaches and the pad thai and the swim-up bar. But coming home, you only have to look forward to a suitcase full of dirty laundry and going back to work. That's it. There's no excitement. Today I'd like to tell you about our long, grueling process of getting home. We got an early morning wake-up call the morning that we left, which was kind of odd to us because our flight out of Phuket didn't leave until 6:55 at night. But unfortunately, the beach island resort where we were staying was about an hour outside of Phuket, where the airport was. So we had to catch a boat from our island back to Phuket. The only available boat to get us there left at 8:30 in the morning. So we had to be showered, dressed, packed, checked out of the hotel, and fed, all by 8:30 in the morning. Island time. Did I mention island time? We were up and out the door and ready to go on our boat, and we took our boat right back to Phuket, and we checked into the airport about 10 o'clock in the morning. Only to find out that Phuket International Airport doesn't let you check into your flight until 3 hours before our 7 o'clock flight. So for the next 6 hours, we were stuck in the airport with nowhere to go because they wouldn't even take our suitcases full of my dirty laundry. We had to spend 6 hours trapped in a dirty, dark, dingy check-in lobby of an airport. It was terrible. We were counting down the minutes until at least it was socially acceptable to get a beer from the one and only restaurant in the lobby. At 4 o'clock, we were able to get checked into our flight, and we got our suitcases dropped off, and we were able to go into the promised land. It was the inner terminals of the Phuket International Airport. Slightly less bright, or slightly less dingy, slightly more bright, and with a couple more restaurant and shopping opportunities than the lobby. We had made it. We spent a few hours in the airport, and then we finally got on to our flight. We had a 3-hour flight from Phuket into Hong Kong. No big deal, right? 3 hours will go by quickly. Jeff settled down in the window seat, and I settled down into the middle seat, and we were shortly joined in the aisle seat by our new travel compartment companion. She was a very small, petite woman, seemed very quiet. I thought, okay, this is going to work out well. We took off, and Jeff fell asleep, and I turned a movie onto my TV screen. And my travel compartment pulled out a new newspaper, started to read a newspaper. She finished the first page, and she turned the second page, blocking my TV screen. Sorry, what? Thought, what do I do now? So I squirmed in my seat and gently nudged her elbow, and she settled back down into her seat and continued to read her newspaper till she got to the end of the page. And again, turned the newspaper right in front of my movie screen again. I thought, this is going to be war, lady. Squirmed again in my seat a little bit more forcefully, putting my arm gently up against the armrest so I could block the next newspaper turn. And sat like that for the next 45 minutes while she read her paper every time hitting my arm and coming back down. At least I was proactive this time. She finished her newspaper and put it away and settled down to watch a movie and take a nap. And she took her shoes off underneath her seat, which is fine. I get that you want to be comfortable, that's fine. Until she settled into her seat and crossed her feet up at me. I'm a germaphobe, for those of you who don't know. And her bare feet were now inches from my leg, getting closer and closer and closer to me. I can handle a lot, people, but this, no, I could not handle this. First, she took over the armrest, Now she's creeping under the armrest. I didn't know what to do, so I thrashed in my seat. And she moved her legs back underneath the seat. And we were calm for a couple minutes. I thought, okay, this is all right. Now again, I told you that this lady was a very petite woman. I'm a little bit on the taller side. People are taller than me, but I'm tall. She then moved her feet underneath the seat divider, taking over my leg space. I needed that leg space. I only had a little bit of it. I needed all that I could take. So I thought, man, if I squirm anymore, the flight attendants are gonna think I'm having a seizure. I don't know what to do. I was just about to reach for the emergency call button and ask for an emergency landing wherever we were. Let me out. And the flight attendants got on, saying we had now started our initial descent into Hong Kong Airport. I still had a 12-hour flight left from Hong Kong to San Francisco. Fortunately, we changed planes, and I don't know where she went, but it wasn't next to me after that. We loaded our next plane, where Jeff graciously gave me the window seat, and he took the middle seat. You see, Jeff is a laid-back kind of guy. He can sit next to anybody, including his neurotic wife. We took off, and I took some sleeping pills because now we're on a long flight, and I was able to get a couple of hours of sleep. And by the time we landed, I was slightly more rested and ready to take on the last flight, which was an hour from San Francisco into Reno. As we loaded the San Francisco to Reno plane, the couple that was in front of us started complaining about how long their travel had been and what a long day it was from the 4-hour flight from Hawaii. I smiled and they said to me, how long have you been traveling? 25 hours. 25 hours, I'm on sleeping pills, a little bit drugged up right now. I'm not really sure where I am or what time it is. 25 hours and an hour left. We did load the San Francisco plane, and luckily we were on time and didn't have any delays, so we did land back in Reno. We got home finally after 27 long hours with our dirty suitcases and our slightly smelly, stinky, tired bodies, and we got home. That was my flight from Phuket into Reno. I love traveling, but that was rather long.